Hey everyone, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Up. Welcome to our Penny Dreadful City of Angels Season 1 Episode 7 Thoughts video. Just finished watching the latest episode of Penny Dreadful City of Angels, and I'm just going to be sharing my general thoughts on the episode. In this episode, we see that Lewis finally recruits Tiago to help in his fight against the Nazis. And we also see that Tiago's mother is completely tired of Santa Muerte's and her sister Magda's shit. So I really enjoyed this episode for us actually diving a little bit more into Lewis and this Nazi fight, and also diving a little bit more into actually what is Magda been doing this whole time? What's her plan? How does it tie into Tiago and his mother and all this fun stuff in Santa Muerte? And we learned a little bit more about it at the very end of the episode. So we spent most of the episode with Lewis pretty much bringing Tiago up to speed on the Nazi situation, and we also see Dr. Kraft and Elsa, which is Magda, kind of moving in together at this point, and them adjusting to that, and the kind of pushback between Elsa, Magda, and Tiago's mother, who works for Dr. Kraft. So yeah, this episode, I didn't love the Dr. Kraft stuff, other than being still just completely baffled what her plan is, what Magda's plan is for infiltrating this family, other than what seems to me like maybe to mess with Tiago's mom a little bit. That's the impression I get at the end of the episode, which seems to be, like I said, the main thing and the stuff that I wanted this whole season to focus a lot more on, which was the Santa Muerte connection to all this and what Magda's doing, which it just seems I don't know. I'm still confused. They had a whole conversation. I'm still not really sure. So yeah, a lot of this video is just gonna be me talking about how it ended, which was seeing Tiago's mom kind of being sick of everything that's going on and confronting Santa Muerte, being like, "Why are you picking on my family? Or why are you letting your sister pick on my family? What's going on?" And and Santa Muerte being like, "Well, that's very arrogant of you to believe." And she's like, "Well, like, everyone's leaving. It's all this stuff." So I thought that was really interesting. We learned that Tiago's mom has a nickname called the Old Coyote, which is a pretty badass nickname, very badass. I was just like, ooh, shit. At first I was like, is she an old spirit too? Is she like she's like Santa Muerte's actual mom, and she just kind of, took human form? But no, it does seem like that's just her spirit guy that lets her connect to, or lets her communicate with Santa Muerte, and apparently also see her sister. So this whole little blast bit is this thing I wanted us to explore a whole lot more in this series, and I thought we'd be focusing a lot more on. It does seem like they just kind of filled in the whole middle with the drama with, Tiago and Molly, and then the murder and stuff with the cop and Mateo and all that stuff, just to get us to this end part. I don't know for sure, but it seemed like, because like I said, I've talked about this in the previous videos, which I've linked in the cards and all that stuff, but I have felt that this season didn't focus enough on this thing, the Mexican-American folklore that this was supposed to kind of center, or what it seemed to center around from the marketing that got me into the show, at least. And so it was kind of weird that it was the first episode of the season, and now this episode has the most kind of ties to that stuff, and it's the stuff I wanted to investigate the most. So I like the way this episode ends, and I like the direction it seems to be going that next episode, which I'm not sure, but I'm guessing might be the last episode for the season, is going to tie a lot more into it and maybe give us a little bit more why Magda's been doing all this and what her plan is going forward, or if she's still implementing it, or it's hard to say, because I don't know if this is a limited series where they're planning to only do one season, or if they're doing this weird thing where they try to set up the first chapter of a show where it kind of ends on a weird point. So I'm not really sure, but I'm hoping we do keep following down this route that this episode was taking us, which is, Lewis and Tiago fighting Nazis, and us having a little more of the Santa Muerte and that stuff, and exploring more of that folklore side of it. So I'm hoping the way this episode ends is the direction that this season continues to go, particularly if there's more than just one episode. I would like us to dive a little bit more into this, because like I said, there's a few episodes in this season so far that I was just like, I was almost ready to leave the show, because I'm like, I just want to see the folklore stuff you guys promised me, and all the connections that this all makes, but you haven't set up anything. So this episode helped to give me a little more confidence that they might actually give me the answers to some of this stuff, but it's also like, are you going to be clear with the answers, or are you going to leave it vague too? And that's something I can accept and can't accept depending on how vague it is. But yeah, so that's pretty much all my thoughts on this latest episode, mainly focusing around the last like 5 minutes of the episode. But like I said, it was a lot of just, Tiago getting up to speed on the Nazi thing with Lewis, and then Dr. Kraft drama with Magna / Elsa and moving in with the family. Oh, that's one other thing. The kid, like Elsa's pretend kid, I don't know why that kid is fucking with the son so much. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why? It doesn't. I'm just very confused by it. I'm off put. I feel as creeped out as that kid does, and I'm sure that's the point, but I don't know why. Are they just trying to be creepy because it's supposed to be more of a horror show, and have no other elements in this show that are like horror related other than this one kid scaring this other kid in very kind of obvious, very creepy ways? But I'm not sure. But that is all my thoughts on this latest episode. Sure, let me know in the comments below what you thought about the latest episode of Penny Dreadful City of Angels, and what you're thinking about for the direction of the rest of the season, if we are supposed to be done. If you know that, sure, let me know in the comments below. But yes, thanks again for joining me today. Sure, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and have a good one.